Walpurgisnacht. Art and story by Gisa. You shouldn't have come here. You shouldn't have come. Of all nights, you chose Walpurgisnacht. Our night. You shouldn't have come here. You shouldn't have come. Their voices rose to a shriek, then silence, and they began to chant, a unified whisper that seeped into his bones. Nunc obliviscare hac nocte. 1. It started so innocently at the old wooden cabin, perched halfway up the mountain, a playground of childhood memories with Constans, Toby, and Schorsch. April 30th, Walpurgisnacht. The snow had finally retreated. Soon the young cows would be released into the Ulm. Dust-choked and cobweb-covered after a day of frantic cleaning, they had decided to stay the night up in the Hütten, and to celebrate with a few well-deserved beers. The mood had shifted, fueled by schnapps unearthed from the pantry and culminating in a reckless bet. Could Johannes reach the flat meadow above the waterfall in 40 minutes? Johannes knew the trail intimately. He'd hiked it 1,000 times under the blazing sun, and on romantic moonlit nights with a girl he was trying to woo. An hour, tops. But tonight, the darkness was a suffocating shroud, thicker than he'd ever encountered, darker than the devil's tail, as his Oma would say, and she knew a thing or two about shadows. He had set off an hour before midnight, his friends' drunken cheers echoing behind him. The trail was a beast. The day's melt had glazed the rocks with a layer of ice that cracked under his boots. He pressed on, confident he could prove them all wrong and signal his victory with 3 triumphant flashes from his phone. As soon as he reached the viewpoint at the entrance to the meadow, where the whole valley lay beneath your feet, he would have won the wager. 2. He saw a flicker in the distance in front of him. Was there someone else on the trail? Relief washed over him. He wasn't alone in the black of the night. He rounded the jagged corner of rock and saw the light dancing again. A beacon in the oppressive darkness. He quickened his pace. The night devoured the stars and moon, rendering them irrelevant. He climbed higher, higher, the trail deteriorating with every step. Had he missed the turnoff to the falls? The light reappeared, closer now, closer still. He stumbled over loose rocks, the wind whipping around him, with whispers he couldn't decipher. A sudden whooshing sound cut through the air above, like wings. A curious coldness surged in his chest. Fear? Existential dread? Or just the potent schnapps playing tricks on his nerves? The light vanished around the next switchback, just minutes to the old wooden bench at the top, to sweet, sweet victory. Then, with a disorienting rush, he was there, at the Hexenboden, the flat mountain meadow, much sooner than he'd expected. And it wasn't empty. 3. Strange lights pirouetted around him like fireflies. Hushed voices in the night sky surrounded him, a cacophony of murmurs and shrieks. Human voices. But how? Then the ground vanished, and he was yanked upwards, a vice-like grip on his armpits. A sickening lurch, and he was hurtling through the air, an inferno of lights blurring his vision. The voices intensified, a guttural chant that scraped against his sanity. Witches, on brooms, and they were playing with him. Now you catch him, Anna. It's your turn. Don't drop him. He was upside down, the blood rushing to his head, and swung with dizzying speed towards another cackling figure. An older witch shook him like a rag doll, her face a grotesque mask in the flickering light. Hey, Senta, don't kill him. We all want to play. Okay, Walpurga, you catch and make sure he doesn't lose his green light. Green light? He fumbled at his throat, finding a silver chain. Definitely not his. A ghostly green glow emanated from the pendant in the shape of an ancient symbol he had never seen before. He couldn't remember where, but now it was burned into his memory forever. The witch holding him now was young, probably his age, with fiery auburn hair and eyes the color of raw emeralds, full of wicked delight. She was playing the violin, soaring through the night sky on a broom. Hanging precariously from the handle, he was hurtled into the waiting grasp of another player. Johannes had never known such terror. Then, the fall. The ground rushed up, the wind screaming in his ears, and he slammed into the meadow, sprawling on the last patch of stubborn snow. Nunc obleviscare hac nocte. 4. The semester was starting. Johannes stumbled into the lecture hall at the Mozarteum, his body bruised and aching. He found a seat at the back, next to a girl he had never seen before. Dark auburn curls framed a face dusted with freckles. "Hi, I'm Johannes. My name is Walpurga, but everybody calls me Wally." Her voice was a rich mezzo, deeper than he expected. Melodious, almost a song. "Are you in the opera program?" "No, I'm a violin master student with Professor Bauer." "Oh, I'm a piano student." "So, we both have to sit through this boring composition class." She turned and her eyes locked with his. Emerald eyes. Almost unnaturally so. Johannes was stunned. He had seen these eyes somewhere before. The professor entered. The lecture started. The students opened their notebooks. As Walpurga leaned over to write, a pendant held by a delicate silver chain fell out of her sweater. Johannes's hand went instinctively to his neck. Green light, green eyes. Another reckless bet sang in his bones. Could he acquaint himself with this astonishing creature?